Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for this episode today. And today I'm going to share, I'm going to share my story about why I'm so passionate about why I do this work. You might listen to a couple episodes before what my journey is, but today I want to go back to my childhood a little bit more to give you a sense of this whole story, my self-growth journey. Yeah, hope inspire you some way, somehow, or just for listening, whichever you prefer. And let's get started. So I was a very shy kid when I was a kid. I spent tons of time reading and coloring books, just like stick with my parents, especially my mom. And whenever neighbors kids walking around playing around outside, I was a shy one. I don't usually like go say hi to them because I was scared, and my mom usually is the one need to step out, help me kind of connect with the neighbor's kid. And then slowly I built up my momentum after probably 5 to 10 tries to meet the neighbor's kid. So it does take me a long time to warm up with the people when I was a kid. And as an Asian household, there's a 4 approved life path. You might familiar with this if you grew up in the Asian culture. So the career paths are lawyer, doctor, engineer, and teacher. Teacher is a respectful career in Asia, and I was terrible in math, science, and I was terrified the science class because one of my science teachers threw my textbook because there's a questionnaire. You can basically each kind of lesson have a questionnaire and test you need to write down. So when she graded my textbook and found out I answered one thing wrong, she threw my whole textbook all the way to the door in front of the whole class. Probably about 30 to 40 people, including me. And I was so embarrassed and I felt so dumb after that, and I want to cry. But if I cry in front of the class, I'm worried I'm just going to make the situation even worse. So just holding my tear and then go pick up that textbook nearby the door and sit back down on my chair. I can still vividly remember the scene and just try to make sure my tear didn't come out from my eye, and then my classmate is going to say something to me or make it such a big deal. And after that, I was like, I do not like science. I totally terrified that class, and no matter what that class happened to my schedule for the day, my mood usually down. And then even in that class, I just keep looking at the clock thinking, please, I want this class over. So all those stress building up, and then my mom noticed my grades start decrease because not just math and science, probably in a couple areas. So she signed me up at cram school. If you don't know what cram school is, it's like a school. After the school, you go to school about 7 to 8 hours, almost like a full-time job, and then you send it to one more school afterwards, so they kind of help you do the homework, preview the next day what they're going to teach, so you got more prepared and help you test, like just help you get better grade in general. But that's like 2 hours extra during the test time. Usually you need to go the weekend or sometimes increase the time. So when I get home, it's usually about 8 or 9-ish, 8 or 8:30, so almost 9 after the school. And you gotta think about school, spend so much time, and then come home. Sometimes you still have all the homework you need to do because it's not covered every single thing in the homework. So after homework, you probably be done at 10. Then you finally relax, taking a bath, taking a shower, eat some snack, and go to bed. And repeat this whole thing one more time every single day. How tired is that, right? That's my childhood. That is how I grew up. But lucky me is, I'll share it with you later. So can you imagine as a fourth, fifth grade kids, it's probably about, hold on, it's about 10, 11-ish, spending more than 10 hours outside of their house. And I was a shy kid. And so they put me in the cram school. It's like totally strange environment. It's put me in a very stressed mode because no one I know in there. And then I still remember walking to the cram school. It's so crowded because they try to put as many classrooms as possible. So the aisle is so narrow and dark, and then separate each room, and then basically each classroom to pack as many of the student as possible. It was super uncomfortable experience, and so I eventually write a letter to my mom, sneak underneath the door. No, yeah, sometimes door. Well, I hid it under her table, her makeup. I forgot what's the table called. There's a mirror, and then you put the makeup thing on. There's a plastic kind of cover. You put like a picture underneath, so even though you can see through some kind of memory. So I put underneath there before I go to bed. So none of my siblings would know. So only my parents would know. And I don't remember I getting any response, so they are just kind of pretending nothing happened. I was disappointed. I was even asked my teacher to help me talk to my mom, see if we can just like don't send me to grade school. And so after like half year-ish or a year, let me think, maybe up to year, my grade actually went up, which is good. I guess cram school does work, and I was hoping my grades up and I catch up with the other student, then I don't need to go to cram school. But and if I being good kids at home doing my thing, then maybe I can end this. Apparently not, because if you don't get good grade, you won't be able to go to better junior high or high school. So I write a letter to my mom again, begging her to not send me to the cram school. I still didn't get a response. So I'm just gonna put this thing away for next time something trigger me at the cram school, made me feel too sad, too stressed out. And then one day is a New Year's Eve, or before New Year's Eve, we actually clean the house as a traditional for the Chinese New Year. You want to bring a clean new look and reorganize your house. Sometimes bring the new furniture to bring in luck for the year. And I remember I was cleaning the bookshelf, and yes, I'm cleaning the bookshelf, and some of my siblings clean the top, I'm cleaning the bottom. There's a different layer. And then my mom all of a sudden, I forgot what subject we were talking about, but my mom all of a sudden just saying, bring up as I'm writing a letter begging her to not send me to cram school as a joke. And all my siblings was laughing, and I was kind of like smiling too, hoping like ease out that situation, but I was totally felt embarrassed. And yes, I feel totally embarrassed, and I feel like this is such a private thing, and you didn't get a response to me, and then make it as a joke like that with my sibling. And so this is not just happened one time. It happened more than 2 to 3 times. They bring it as a joke, saying I'm begging them, writing a letter, talking out for not sending me to cram school. So, and more building up, I realize I share my emotion with my parents. I cannot openly share with my emotion for my parents, and I was not able to get the support from them. I subconsciously creating that. As a later on, I know this. That's why I have a hard time to express myself. Okay, so that's one part of it. And so in high school, let me think. In high school, you see multiple girls like to hang out as a group. And if you like to be, if you are individual, just hang out, you feel kind of left. Oops, sorry. You feel kind of left out. So I feel like I need to fit in, so I'm just pretending sometimes. You like that? I like that too. You like pink? I like pink. Honestly, I don't like pink. And then I'm pretending I like particularly brand or the band and particularly then they say they like. So I just keep pretending someone I am not. And I'm trying to find a group I can fit in so I won't be left out. And also, it's a security survival thing you try to be in high school. So in that like stressful moment for try to fit in and also try to pursue your college career, I actually spend a lot of time working on DIY things like crafting things, paper, cutting things, sewing them together, something like that, because that helped me soothe my nervous system. And it's helped me express myself through the art because I don't think I can express with my parents. So I built up so much passion with art, design, and so in the third year of the high school, I told my parents I want to focus on the major in fashion design in college. And the first thing they say, that is not a good idea. Remember that we talk about the four career actually what work is lawyer, doctor, engineer, and teacher. And my big sister actually majored in education. So she's come up for be a teacher after graduate. So there's a little pressure from the expectation from your parents and the neighbors all cheer you up saying your sister's so great and it's doing good, your parents are so proud. And then I'm thinking, okay, how in my own internal dialogue, I was really happy for my sister because she did get scholarship for the college, and I was so happy for my sister, but also felt like an internal pressure of how can I match that expectation? I know my big sister have her interest, but my interest is not the same. So I expressed I want to do fashion design. My mom so saying, if you're not getting famous, you're gonna you just gonna be starved. You cannot find any job anyway. Well, during that time, Taiwan, clothing design is not a big industry. Basically, they all move into China because it's cheaper and manufactured in there. So she said, either you're gonna be a manufacturer worker or something, I don't remember. So she basically said, what are you gonna do with that major coming out? Basically, I didn't think that much. I'm just thinking I want to do something I enjoy to do. So on fighting for a couple times, and then I find an opportunity for art market during the summer break. So I apply it, and I just kind of did not think I would get it in, and especially it's my first time. I just thought, well, might as well try, and then I actually get in. Surprisingly, I get it, and because I don't have any actually like online present time and not much like our work collection will provide a portfolio I can provide. So I just show them a couple things I make through online. I was very excited to get accepted. And 2 days earlier, I told my mom, say, hey, I'm going to sell my design in this art market in Taipei, which is a big city in Taiwan. So I was like very excited. And I thought she would be proud of me. I thought she's going to be say, oh, that's so cool. And when did you get in those kind of things? But I didn't get that. I getting the response is your sewing is not even like evenly correct. Who's going by this? And then she just walk away. And I think she worked all day that day, and I was sharing that experience with her. She just also tired, and I didn't expect that. So of course my feelings hurt. I want to feel supported. So I just head back to my bedroom and then put my head down, keep doing the thing, can express my emotion and joy. And that's a place I feel safe to do so. And I guess that time experience also confirmed again I am not safe to express my emotion and getting support from my family. And excuse me, I was luckily convincing my big sister going Taipei with me because I actually never going Taipei by myself alone as a high school kid, and taking transportation, all those kind of things by myself, it is freaking me out because it's complicated. It's like a subway system in New York. And eventually we got there and we put a stand, decorated. And that day I still remember that weather sucked. And there's a concert in there. And when we were outside to put in the stand, there's a couple different stands. And I was able to sell a couple design and meet my customer. Surprisingly, they supported my couple items, even though that day is very slow. And I was so grateful they supported me. I was so happy in my joy, thinking, wow, this thing worked. It's people actually willing to pay money for the art I created. So I was so happy, even though I didn't make a lot of money that day. But it just proved I want to do this even more to a fashion design degree. So when I get home and my mom know I went to the art market without her permission, so she just basically didn't talk to me for 2 to 3 days, and as basically tell me she's not happy with my decision. And I know that time won't be great to talk about. I really want to focus on fashion design. So how do I eventually choose to do fashion design and without their permission? First thing is I've been watching my parents doing things they don't really enjoy. And I was thinking this might be a chance for me to choose something I enjoy to do and follow my intuition, that pull in my heart. Anything later than that, I can figure it out. And second thing is they are not going to able to pay my tuition. I'm taking a loan to pay my tuition. So why not choosing one I enjoy and really passionate about it? So eventually I still choose fashion design without their permission or agreement. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of making decision and going for it. And I would say living in a different city as graduate in high school is a challenge because you are totally in different city, no friends there, and live in a dorm with other people. And you do get lonely that when the holiday come, they go back. And sometimes I gotta stay because I have daytime job I need to work so I can cover my tuition and the material spends I need in the college. So it is a journey, but I will say think back I enjoy it. Even though there's tons of nights I stay 2 to 3 a.m. to work my homework, because a lot of homework is not just like computer PPT, PowerPoint report, I actually need to fill in a project showing the progress, and then the teacher grade the progress. So it's very time consuming homework. And then early morning, I have a work I need to do. So I sometimes only sleep like 4 to 5 hours. And in college, that's like easy peasy for me. Now I cannot do it. Now I need at least 8 hours. Sometimes six maybe. But 8 hours is like the range for me. And talking about college. I actually met my boyfriend and now husband, in my college. In the third year of the college, I met him. And he is basically a joy of the life. He just like he almost like a cartoon character, so happy, like jumping around, kid-ish, like joyful energy so much, and he brings so much joy. And he also so opening for his emotion, his style, and way too open till I start questioning about why are you telling me this? And I'm thinking, I feel like you kind of share it too much, even though I didn't say it. I just felt like that's kind of new to me. It's like you felt so comfortable sharing this. So as in college, I was actually is a lone wolf because in high school, I'm just going through high school. I'm just tired of pretending to like something I actually don't like. And after graduating high school, all my friends actually go their own way, disappear, and not really reach out, connected afterwards. Anyway, I felt like that relationship because was pretending someone I'm not, so the relationship doesn't really last and it's not particularly real. So in college, I'm just thinking, I do not want to do this 3 more years or 4 more years. So I'm just going to try be myself as much as possible. Instead of trying pretending, I'm just going to pull out a little bit being a lone wolf, so I don't need to worry about rejection. I can do this for myself. And in the beginning it was lonely, but I don't know, when you set an intention out for I'm trying to be myself, whenever I can attract similar people what I like and we have similar interests, the timing will come, and there's not much resistance from it. I'm just trying to work on see if that will happen. So lucky me, I actually find some friends in the college. We have same interests. We have same kind of shy personality, introvert with introvert. It does take a while. We kind of all warm up together and chatting, fighting, and partying together. So it was very fun. And let me look at my journal 1 second. Okay, yeah. So after I graduated from the college. I was working in a fashion company for being assistant there for a year, and then changed to be a pet design assistant because that time I have a pet. I love doing pet things. So, but eventually we move out the big city because the cost, and also I want to be closer to my family. And then one day my husband was talking about he really missed about his family. He been in Taiwan for about 5 years, and I visited them a while back. I think 2 years before he died, and he's really close with his family. So I felt like it's not quite fair he stayed here so long, and so we decided to move back to Texas to be closer to his family. And I thought it would be easy because I'm the person kind of just go for it and we'll figure out things later. Well, I did go for it, and I didn't figure out things later. And right now I can laugh about it, but I would say during that time it was such a dark time for me. Visiting is a different than living there there's a big culture shock for me, and there's a big period of time I cannot drive, and there's a big period of time I cannot work because the visa issue. So I basically stuck at home. I cannot do anything, and so only my husband's making money. There's a really big financial stress putting on our both on the relationship. So all the pressure just keep piling up, building up, and I start have depression. I don't even know about it. After later on, I was basically do not want to go out. I want to just be on the bed in my room. That time we're living with their family in my room all day on the weekend too. I just constantly felt very tired, fatigued. I do not want to connect with other people. And there's a very heavy emotion and I'm anger toward to him, even though it's not his fault. But I have a strong anger and maybe resentment for not to him that time, but I have a really anger to myself making the choice that irrationally. But that anger kind of started leaking out for me and then toward to the person around me and I love. And that depression and stress actually eventually create a physical pain in my body. My right shoulder pain was so intense. I have like hard time to breathe and also caused me so really hard time to fall asleep. I will wake up like 2 to 3 times a night and just like the pain won't go away and I just cannot fall asleep. And sometimes it causes me migraine and I throw up. It's not a pleasant experience. And that time I actually started working a small job, but I did not make a lot of money. So there's a basic health plan we are on. There's no like I cannot really go see a doctor for a particularly pain because thinking about copay, doing tests, all the stuff all adding up together. So I'm just thinking, okay, I'll try to use this tennis ball. This ball the dog love, that little very bright yellow greenish, to use put it on the wall and then kind of just roll it for my shoulder. Eventually I get a roller for the back and then just kind of roll before I go to bed. Sometimes just go too intense and I do it for like 10 to 15 minutes. It helped for a tiny period of time, but basically next day will come right back again. And I just don't know how this pain created that time. I just thought maybe because I didn't sleep well, and maybe because I lift something heavy by accident, I hurt my right shoulder. And then I just keep research about shoulder pain online, try to figure out all the way beside the tennis ball, roller, and other things I can do to release that tension in my body. And then I saw a little ad talking about emotional pain release the body tension. So I thought it's a free workshop. Might as well to try it. So I signed up for this 1 hour workshop. They have intro, doing a meditation. Basically, they on the bed visualize, and then there's a couple different things she asks us to do. And the weird thing is, toward the end, I get a really strong message about you have to let go. You have to let go. And I was wondering what I need to let go about. I don't exactly know what I need to let go about, but I just keep present in that session and try to figure out what I need to let go about. And then later on, I get a message about I need to let go of the anger from my parents about I did not get supported as a childhood. I need to let go about making the decision to move here without doing a lot more research and put me in this particular situation. Yeah, let me think the other thing. Oh, one more thing is I need to let go of keep my holding on everything inside me, and I need to start learn how to release and express myself. That three things completely open my emotion during that 1 hour. That 1 hour, I remember I have tear in my eye. So after that 1 hour's workshop, I remember waking up a little bit, walking around, and I did not pay attention. I was toward the end of the day. I realized, hey, my shoulder pain actually reduced so much. I didn't even realize it because I was too used to that pain that much. I didn't even realize the pain was reduced. And I was like totally blown my mind. And that experience opened the whole total personal development experience I have. I spend hours to learn meditation, emotional mindset, basically all the things I can learn limited belief to help me release all those emotion blocks I have in the childhood and those emotions trapped inside myself. And hold on. Yes, emotion trapped myself. So I totally turned to a personal growth nerd and spend basically tons of time research books, workshop, classes, certification to help me to learn this thing better so I can grow, I can be a better person. Excuse me. Excuse me. And after that, I would say a year later, my financial growth, and 2 years later, I was landing a job in Korea. I really enjoy to be a software engineer. You might think because my parents want me to be engineer, but I actually enjoy doing coding, puzzle things, solving problem, and it's kind of like learning coding language is also like you learning how to communicate with yourself in different format. I think that's a cool puzzle for me to do. And I'm still on my personal growth journey. I just love how everyone is so different and so the same at the same time. And going through so many courses, certification as a group, people together, I find out a lot of women have similar experience as a childhood. There's a past experience cause the way they experience the world right now. And I feel like if I don't share my story, talk about how I heal my depression and my chronic body pain, it's disservice. Because if I can help one person here listening to this, I will be happy. Because during that time, I did not know how I can get help. I did not know what exactly I can help. I can get help because I thought I'm going to live with that pain like forever. I basically thought, okay, I cannot afford a doctor, then I'm just going to get used to this pain. And I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad my intuition to tell me go to that class, go through that class, working with a bunch of people, taking classes from other been through the same thing, totally expand my growth and like change my whole totally path. And I would say it put me even more about this is because my sister also going through something after her birth, and I was keep encourage her to go see a specialist in Taiwan, and Taiwan have the healthcare, so it will be very easy to afford go see a specialist. And she have a resistance to go a therapist, and hormonal doctor after her birth. And I'm not trying to push her and force her to do something she don't want to do. Instead, I'll encourage her or be supportive. And I know why. I understand why. Because every time in Asia, if you go a therapist, they put in a label for you. You have something wrong. It's something not normal about you. And that label bring a lot of heaviness to a people. So I want to open up this conversation about mental health is such an important thing to people as a safe place. As more we talk about, and it will be a normal thing for people to share, because everyone going through all different things, and that's why this episode about. So let me see how long I've been recording. 43 minutes. This might be the longest one I ever recorded. And let me think. To closing this out, this is actually my third time recording my story. And I try to be as more timeline as much as possible. And sometimes my thought just going out the way, and then I won't be able to remember to bring it back. So I gotta keep remind myself coming back to the why I'm sharing this. And so if you are listening this right now and feel stuck or in pain, please know this: you are not dramatic, you are not weak, and you are not alone. I want you to know there's people going through the same thing, and you can go through it also. I hope this episode helped you in some way, somehow. And if you'd like to connect, please leave me a message on Instagram with Ruby Chen, or to send me an email for hi@rubychen.com. I appreciate you being here and listen to my story. You are awesome. I'll see you next one. Bye.